We're good.
Once again, I want to thank everyone for coming to our HRTAC regular commission meeting. Call the meeting to order. And I will ask that our counselor, Mr. Goodman, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor Webb. Present. Mayor Kaplan. Mayor Gray. Present. Supervisor Ackley. Supervisor Hippel. Here. Mayor Jones. Present. Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Mayor Huss. Present. Mayor Glover. Here. Supervisor Cornwell. Mayor Buman. Here. Mayor Dyer. Mayor Pond. Supervisor Shepherd. Here. Senator Lucas.
Here.
Senator Locke.
Doctor's here.
Thank you, sir.
I work for food.
Delegate Anthony. Delegate Glass. Delegate Tata. Board Member Stan. Here. District Engineer Hall. Here. Robinson. Vice President Nelson.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Moving on with our agenda, I will now move to item 2, and I ask the board for a motion to approve the agenda, and also ask for a second, any discussion, and then we'll conduct the vote. So, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. Is there any additional discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a voice vote. All those in favor, denoted by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. We'll move on to the next item. Public comment. Mr. Page, do we have any public comments?
Mr. Vice Chair, we do not have anyone signed up to speak, nor will be receiving any close comment to share before this last meeting.
Thank you, sir. Item number 4. I want to thank everyone for attending today. This is a very important meeting today as we will be approving the final financing for the Hampton Roads Express Lanes project. Also, I want to thank and welcome Todd Halsey to HRT as our new deputy director. Todd, could you please stand and be recognized? Welcome aboard. And indirectly, I understand we have a new member, an adjunct member or another member to our board, and it's coming through our wonderful mayor of the city of Newport News. I'm claiming that your new son is going to be a member of our board, so we want to congratulate you, sir, and your wife on the birth of your child. You're welcome. Moving on with our agenda item number 5, consent agendas are in a block voice vote. Mr. Page, would you please read the consent agenda items?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Moving forward in your agenda package is item 5A, minutes of the June 12, 2025 annual organization meeting. 5B is fiscal year 2025 draft annual report to the Joint Commission on Transportation Accountability relating to the Hampton Roads Transportation Fund, the HRTAC accounting manual update, credit card, small purchases, and fixed assets threshold policies. D is HRTAC investment policy update. That's the investment guidelines. And E is HRTAC engagement of court stenographers, court reporter services. Thank you, sir. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Page. I'll now ask for a motion to approve.
Motion for approval, Hippel?
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please, in adopting the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Our next item, item number 6, we are in action items. Action items are to be handled individually by the voice vote. Mr. Page, would you please walk us through the action items?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Before you, the commissioners will see we have 2 action items on the agenda. Starting with 6A, the fiscal year draft 2025 audited financial and compliance report You have a decision brief, and also we have a brief presentation from Mr. Michael Garber from PB Mars LLC to report out on the financial report.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Garber is coming to the podium.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Good afternoon, sir.
We good? I can just talk really loud. That's fine. I can do that. Do that anyway. As long as everyone can hear me, we're good. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to present to you here this afternoon. In your packet, you received a draft financial statement. It is draft form. There we go. It is in draft form because we were still making adjustments as we were taking this to the printers. We also, technically, our audit contract runs through the state. The Auditor of Public Accounts handles the audit contract because HRTAC is a component unit of the state, and your all's financials get pulled into the state's financial statements. So they handle the audit contract. With that contract, we have to have finals done by September 30, which we will have them done by September 30. But we also have to provide a draft of them at least 2 weeks before that date for their review. That draft did go in on Monday of this week, so we were in compliance with the contract there as well. But we haven't heard back from them on their review. So therefore, the financials are still in draft format until we get their final say so that we can issue our opinions. Talking about our opinions, there were basically 2 in the financial statements. There's one in the front where we opine on the document itself and all the footnotes. We anticipate issuing a clean, unmodified opinion for your financial statements, so that's the one you're looking for. And in the back of the document, there will be another report that talks about internal control and compliance. That report will also be, I'll put in quotes, clean. We don't have any findings or anything that we think we need to include there. So when we do issue these financial statements and reports, you will be getting a very good unmodified opinion on those. We met this morning at 9 o'clock with the Finance Committee and went through these in detail. I'm not going to go through all of that detail with this group here. The only item I think is probably worth mentioning in the very last footnote or second to last footnote of the financials, we did have a restatement of the beginning balances. That restatement came from information from the Department of Transportation that was not provided to your finance staff from last year's audit. We actually did not receive that information until this year. And once DDOT was able to provide us that information, we had to go back and restate the beginning fund balance. So I wanted to make sure I did point out, because some people look at this and see a restatement and say, we made a mistake, we had an error. No, we didn't. We just did not have all the information from the state that we needed to prepare the financial statements. So that is why there's a correction in this year's financials. With that, I don't have much else prepared to go over, but I am happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, Mr. Vice Chair, seeing no questions, as Mr. Garber mentioned this morning at the Finance Committee meeting, Finance Committee went through this document thoroughly with Mr. Garber. And Mr. Hippel, I think you've been authorized by the Finance Committee to report out the actions and recommendations of the committee this morning.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, at the Finance Committee meeting this morning, Finance Committee recommended that the commission approve the draft FY 2025 audit financial and compliance report for HRTAC. That's all in the form. Mr. Chair, is that?
So at this time, we're going to go ahead and ask Councilor William to read the motion.
He didn't turn it on.
Yes, Vice Chair. The motion reads as follows. The Commission, 1, approves the draft fiscal year 2025 audited financial and compliance report for HRTAC, and 2, authorizes the Executive Director to work with the Auditor of Public Accounts to finalize and provide distribution.
Thank you, sir. We're in need of a motion and a second.
Hipple motion for approval.
Second. Any additional discussion? All those in favor of approving, vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. We'll be moving on to the next item. Mr. Page, you already went through the action items.
I've got one more, sir.
One more.
6B is the recommendation to issue up to $315 million in aggregate principal amount of senior lien forward system revenue bonds. It's accompanied with resolution 2025-03 for your action. And we will want to, if you don't mind, sir, we'll yield the floor to bond counsel, who's present today, Ben Wills, representing bond counsel, HRTAC, to come to the podium and walk us through this TIFIA loan and bond. Thank you.
Always, thank you, sir.
Mr. Wells.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ben Wills, I'm an attorney with Kaufman & Wills, and here with my colleague Megan Gilligan, and also the commission. Everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. In addition, the commission's financial advisors, Yang Shan and Dong Kim, are also present here today. We are here to present resolution 2025-03, which is for the issuance of a not to exceed $315 million total revenue bond. And as mentioned, this provides the very last piece of scheduled financing for the Hampton Roads Express Lanes network. This will be the second toll revenue bond that the commission has issued, the first being back in 2021. And this financing follows a very similar structure to the one that was successfully issued in 2021. It's going to be through the United States Department of Transportation's TIFIA program, through its Build America Bureau. And so this new bond will be on parity at the same lien priority as the 2021 bond. So your resolution references various form documents that accomplish the structure of this transaction. Again, very similar to what we've seen before. And copies are also included in your agenda package. I'll very quickly hit on each one of these. The first is a second supplement. This is the indenture document under the toll indenture that provides for the issuance of this new bond. There's the actual TIFIA loan agreement, which is the DOT document that sets out all the requirements for participation in the TIFIA program. Very similar to the commission's former TIFIA loan agreements that it's entered into. The next document is a direct agreement, which in addition to the TIFIA lender and the commission, VDOT is also a party, and it deals with the project level contracts and making sure that they're being administered and prosecuted in accordance with the requirements of, again, with US DOT. I'll briefly note that yesterday at the Commonwealth Transportation Board's meeting, did approve the execution of this direct agreement. So good news there. And then finally, the last document is what we're calling an amendatory supplement. If you recall from 2021, the commission's tax-backed revenue bonds provide limited credit support for its toll revenue bonds. And so this amendatory document is simply increasing proportionally the amount of the tax revenue transfers that can provide back-end support for this new bond, so that we have the ability to cover both the 2021 bond and this new 2025 bond. With that, the resolution generally approves the issuance of the new TIFIA bond. It authorizes the commission to enter into the new TIFIA loan agreement, delegates authority to the chair and to the vice chair, along with the executive director, to finalize the terms and conditions of this new issuance, subject to the restrictions that we've got baked into this resolution. Those are namely, first, the new TIFIA bond must comply with the toll indenture, which makes sense. The maximum original principal amount of the new bond cannot exceed $315 million. I believe the 2021 bond was $345 million, so we're a little bit south of that. The maximum interest rate that this bond can carry is 6.25%. And then the latest maturity of this bond is 40 years from the date of issuance, which is a statutory limit under the HRTAC Act. And then finally, the tax revenue transfers, the HRTAC transfers, they are limited to what the commission has previously approved as amended by that amendatory supplement that I referenced. And again, that's just to increase proportionally so that we've got coverage for both of the outstanding toll bonds. Outside of that, the resolution very closely follows the form that the commission has seen in the past. It authorizes the chair, vice chair, executive director to enter into the transactional documents where appropriate, to make any necessary changes that need to be made for the closing, subject to all of the restrictions that we have baked into this resolution. Those are the big picture part of those. With that, logistically, we are hoping to close this transaction certainly by the end of the year. And we're working to have that occur sooner rather than later. But with that, I'm happy, along with the rest of the finance team, to address any questions that anyone may have.
Any questions? Okay, Mr. Vice Chair, hearing the questions, I'd like to turn the floor over to Finance Committee Chair Hippel to report out the activities this morning, as Mr. Wills mentioned. This was a topic and an action item of the Finance Committee this morning. So,
Thank you. Mr. Vice Chair, I'd like, before I get too deep into it, I'd like to thank all the members, not only this group, but members before this group, and probably members that are going to be after this group, the Finance Committee, all the professional teams, staff, and everything that we have here at HRTAC, how proud I am and how much work they do and how much money they have saved the citizens of our region. Excuse me. It's amazing, and if you ever want to know, you can ask Kevin, he can pull the figures up of how many millions and tens of millions of dollars we have been able to save by different programs that we've been able to do, this group. And what y'all done for the citizens, I've never been connected with a group that the things come in and not only do you put them in place, but you multiply them and do more for the citizens than what a lot of them think. And it's something almost ought to be publicized out there so the citizens know that this group is not only doing transportation and with VDOT hand in hand, but they're finding every penny that they can find and make sure that they can supply everything that VDOT knows when they're doing in partnership with us, putting the roads together and doing all the work that needs to be done out there. So thank you, VDOT, and all our delegates and everybody that is connected with this group and any other group. And it's amazing, just want to say it's amazing watching how much this organization does for the community. It's not an organization just talking about it. You put your feet on the ground, you put the work in place, and you get a production. So I want to thank you for that. And I want to report out the Finance Committee meeting this morning. The Finance Committee endorsed and recommended that the Commission approve Resolution 2025-03, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair.
Well, thank you, sir, and I think that deserves a kind of recognition with an hand clap, because this team has done phenomenal work, led by our leader here, Executive Director, Mr. Page, and as to Mr. Hippel's point, if you have the opportunity to be in those meetings of the Finance Committee and watch how our team works and brings in the results, it is very well appreciated. So on behalf of the HRTAC organization and all of the leaders in here, I want to congratulate you, sir, and your team on a job well done.
thank you.
Moving right along, Councilor Lima, could you please read the motion?
Yes, sir. The motion reads as follows: the commission approves resolution 2025-03.
I will now ask the board to approve the motion. All in favor, please no question.
Hippel,
Oh, sir, excuse me, I need a motion.
motion.
We have a second. I'm anticipating moving fast. Thank you. All in favor, please know by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Moving forward is in your agenda package and informational items. That's under section 7 of the agenda. And we have the HRTAC monthly financial report. We also have VDOT updates. Mr. Hall, I know you wanted to introduce a new member, recently new promoted member of your staff. And, I want to certainly thank you as well for all your time that you've spent with us here at HRTAC.
I've had a chat with the bees.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is my pleasure to introduce my replacement, Mr. Mike Davis, who will be taking over duties as a district engineer starting next week. As I spoke, I think, at the TPO meeting, I'll be over at the HRTAC project for about 2 months and then leave the department at the end of the year. So I just want to kind of echo some of the things that Mike said, and that is what a real honor and privilege it has been to be part of this organization and be able to be part of the group that's done so much for this region and will continue to do a lot in the future. And I think it sometimes when you're part of an organization like this, you don't really realize how unique it is until you sort of get on the outside, maybe. But I can tell you that in my experience with Corps of Engineers and some of my other life, I've never been a part of anything like this that's been able to produce and accomplish what we've been able to accomplish thus far and what we have planned ever. So congratulations and keep up the great work. Thank you. We'll see Marion's face again Wednesday. So we're looking forward to finishing the excavation on the second tunnel. They will also
Yes, sir. Thank you for that, and welcome, Mr. Davis. I always told you as you were coming along, and you said to me one time, you said, I don't want to be a part of the HRTAC project because I'm too focused on other HRTAC work. So we finally got you to be part of the HRTAC project. Congratulations. Also, to the commissioners, Mr. Vice Chair, the HRTAC regular meeting announcement for December 11th, 2025 at 12:30 p.m. right here. Why don't you serve your name? Thank you, sir. That's all I have for the commission today.
Well, thank you, Mr. Page. And this is the most important item, I think, on the agenda for everyone in attendance, and that is item 8, adjournment. There are not any other questions or concerns here? Yes, sir. Mr. Shepherd,
Never one for lost words. I noticed, I just want to make an observation. I know, folks go down here and you come to this meeting and you hear a summary, just a tip of the iceberg about the issues you just voted on. And all of us, everybody, I don't even put myself here, smart, stupid people, you got a lot on your plate. I see down there, and I know that she's really busy. Bill, big city guys, you guys just got so many things going in so many different directions. And to sit down and focus on this is a challenge that is unbelievable, okay? So one of the things that I have observed over the many years that I've been on this commission is that you guys around here, when you ask us their question, I don't know how you could even possibly ask the question, okay? Because you have to know the gory details. It would be almost like a doctor doing surgery on someone's spleen or something. You have to know exactly what you're asking about. And then you have to go, well, I'm gonna look like an idiot. And I do that for you, but the point here is that you are entrusting a very small group in the finance committee, that Mike Kippel leads, of course, Kevin is, all the people you just talked about are there. And, they all sit against the wall, and you don't throw harpoons at them, so you don't get the, oh my gosh, I gotta answer a question. But the point here is that you put a lot of trust in a very small group of people to hopefully give you the right answer. I mean, I'm really doing that because we're talking billions and billions of dollars, okay, that's affecting all the people in Hampton Roads. So I just want to point out that in that trust, I mean, I can sit back here now, after the finance meeting, I put my feet up here, because I'm not asking any more questions. And we take them through a ringer in there. And, I mean, we're going down and we're asking like this page and that line. So what you're getting out of the recommendations from the committee, I want you to know that trust that you're putting in us to be able to provide you with an answer so you don't have to go out, and fight through this is there. So Mike, thanks for leading that committee, and it's a privilege to serve on that committee, but I just want you to know that the questions, when they ask if there's a question, they get the questions, okay? And the questions are detailed, it's painful, it's like they're on the spot, it's coming from the whole group in the back, and they answer them, okay? They answer the details. So I want to thank you, Mike, specifically, and the rest of the board members for engaging that way so that we can keep that trust. Okay? So thank you.
Mr. Shepherd, very well stated, sir. This meeting is adjourned, ladies and gentlemen.
Save it and forget.